So our next speaker is Dr. Ella Vázquez Domínguez. She is one of the main researchers in Institute of Ecology, UNAM, and she works with several things, but mainly with rodents and turtles and animals, things that do not photosynthesize and are not humans.
Exactly. Good morning, everyone. The study I'm going to talk to you about today bears within the evolutionary and ecological fundamental question about how species colonize new environments and where biological invasions offer us a great opportunity to try to discern what characteristics and features make these species that facilitates the establishment of these wild species outside the native ranges. And the stars of our movie are Trachemys freshwater turtles. There are about 16 species, subspecies. The taxonomy is very bad resolved, which have this very peculiar distribution throughout the Americas. And within this genus, we have the red ear slider turtle or Japanese turtle that you most probably know, the Trachemys scripta, which has been characterized as one of the 100 worst invasive species in the world. This is due mainly because of the pet trade. You probably, if you were my age, you probably had a turtle in your house of this species. We perform genomic and genetic studies with molecular and nuclear genes for the 4 species, particularly these because they have these my left hand, this gradient distribution along the Pacific coast, starting with Trachemys, the invasive one. This is the native natural distribution that goes throughout the United States to the border with Tamaulipas in Mexico, followed by Cataspila, which is endemic to Mexico, follow next with Venusta, which goes all the way through southern Mexico and northern Central America. And we also have a microendemic, Taylori, which is restricted to the Cuatro Ciénegas Basin in Mexico. And I'm going to tell you very quick some of our main results with this study. First is that the 4 species, we clearly see that they are taxonomically differentiated, that they diverge in accordance with their taxonomy and the distribution. And this is important because Cataspila has been treated as a subspecies of Venusta, which clearly is not the case. We also did not find signal of hybridization. Turtles, you know, freshwater turtles are prone to hybridize highly. But we did find historical integration among some of the species, especially in these co-distribution frontiers. We also, in accordance with the previous result, found no or very low effective migration, no current gene flow. They're really, really structured. And one thing that is very important also is that along doing the field work throughout Mexico, we collected sample of the invasive species, which it's obviously outside its native range, with the objective to compare if the non-native in Mexico will be a subset of the native distribution. You can see it is not. They form very, very 2 distinct, clearly differentiated clusters, meaning this group, the non-native, comes from the pet original ones that come from Asia. And we also, with all these results that we got, we thought it would be very good to try to discern, knowing that they are very, very distinct morphologically, that they have this very clustered distribution and that they are genetically different, how different it would be. And for this we performed different analysis, and we found two main things. One is that the 3 species distributed along North America and Mexico, they have low niche overlap between them. You can see red, blue, and green. Their niches overlap very, very little. Contrastingly, see what happens when you compare it with the ecological niches where this species, Trachemys scripta, has invaded. In Europe, you can see 100% or almost 100% of niche overlap, meaning that's one of the means how this species has been so successful. And that's it. Thank you very much. me fui más rápido.
Thank you, Ella. That was fast. We have a question over there.
Okay, thank you very much. I didn't get why do you have this niche overlap in Europe and you don't have it in Mexico, or did I miss something?
Yeah, I didn't show one part, but the temperature, the fundamental temperature, and especially that variable, it's very constrained. The fundamental niche that this species has, it's very constrained, but still it is the temperature realm. It's available in throughout Europe, and so that's one of the reasons it's been able to invade. And we believe it's the contrasting between the Mexican distribution is because it has competition with this congenial species. We haven't measured that, but everything, not hybridizing, not overlapping. Throughout our field trip, we just couldn't find them. As we expected, we thought we were like, one Trachemys, one other, one Trachemys, one other, one script, I mean. So it's probably not being invasive naturally in Mexico, it's that, and in Europe, they overcome the other turtles in every sense. They even eat them. So yeah, the competition is very harsh, and the environmental availability it's overwhelming. It's not even occupying. It's occupying about 70% of the fundamental niche it can. So it has potential to extend it with climate change.
Okay, I'm talking later, so it's. Hi, thank you for your presentation. So, I was wondering if some studies here in Europe have, from the genomic perspective, determine if at least, or if you know in Mexico there is a single kind of introductions, or they are escaping from different, and there were different points of introduction. It's just one single, I don't know, it seems like there are two different populations from what I saw from the invasive species. So I was wondering, or if you are going to model it, how many?
There is good information about the origin of the pet trade. This goes by around the 1950s. In the United States, they decided, well, this is a very strong species that we can sell as a pet trade. And they started in like a very little market in 40s, 50s. It got so popular that the Japanese took some of the turtles, reproduced them extensively, and now from like the 70s onwards, every single turtle that you find in the pet stores come from the Japanese market. So that's what we're catching a little bit with our introduced samples throughout Mexico, that they have a little bit of mixture with the original yellow color that you saw that comes from America, but most of it comes from the Japanese bunch. So it's more than, the distribution is, I buy a pet, I don't like it anymore, and I throw it. And that's how it has got out the world. We believe so. At least what we can get catch now, because they've been reproduced so much.
So the Japanese turtles that are not Japanese, that's great.
So you showed us that in the wild, these different species of turtles are not hybridizing. Do you know if they can convert?
Absolutely are. Most freshwater turtles are hybridized very easily within the same genus and even between species. And we have a signal, but not as strong as we expected. And again, we think is this competition on their actual wild distribution, that they not only not want to hybridize, they don't want you there. So they really fight their range. But in Europe, they are hybridizing Scripta with other genus.
Well, very quickly, because it's time for coffee break then. Thank you, everyone.